Hi crafters, welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm G, and are you ready to master the floating pop-up card? Well, let's head down to the crafting table and let me show you what kind of card this is. Okay, here is an example of a floating pop-out card. We've decorated the front, and when you open it up, you have these two squares here that seem like they're floating. Well, I have the quick and easy way to create this card. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is take your cardstock and let's cut a base card. And we want our card to be 8.5 by 5.5. So go ahead and turn it in long ways and cut it at 5.5. Now we want to turn this into a gatefold. And so you're going to turn it long ways and you're going to score at 2 1/8 on each side. So you can just flip it over, and now we're going to score 2 1/8 on this side as well. Now move your trimmer to the side, and I want to show you a little tip. Grab your bone folder and let's go ahead and give this a really good crease. On both sides, go ahead, give it that crease. Now, if you see that this kind of catches just a little bit, mine catches just a tiny bit. Sometimes it catches when you open it and sometimes it doesn't. Well, a tip is simply put it back in and just cut off a sliver. Not really even a 1/16, just a little sliver. Now, look at this. That's all I cut off. And now you don't have to worry, it opens and closes perfectly. The next thing we did was we went ahead and we cut our panels. Now, you can get as creative as you want. You can double map this, but for this card, I wanted to just show you how quick and easy it is to create this floating pop-out card. So let's go ahead and grab our glue and lay down our side panels. Now, I want to remind you that all our measurements will be listed over on creativemomentsbyg.com. Simply go there and then click on my blog. If you have subscribed to my channel, you know that we absolutely love this glue that I'm using. It's called Kalel. And it gives you plenty of time to wiggle your image around. It doesn't grab it. Plus, it never clogs up on us. So we love this. And there we have our front panels completed. Now, the next thing that we want to do is create our mechanisms that go on the inside of the card. So go ahead and bring your trimmer, bring that extra piece of white paper that you had, and you're going to cut a 1-inch strip, and you need 2 of them. So go ahead and cut 2. And we need it to be 5 1/4 inches long. Just going to cut that. Now let's make some score lines. We need to score at 1, 2, and 4 1/4. So let's grab this. We want to make sure that our cutting blade is docked so that we don't accidentally cut instead of score, right? So we're going to score at 1, at 2, and 4 1/4. And do the same thing on your other mechanism. 1, 2, and 4 1/4. Now we have our score lines right here on both of them. Just going to show you these score lines. So we have our mechanism for the inside of our card. So let's put those to the side and let's go ahead and create our little floating squares. Now we went ahead and we cut our squares. You can use dies if you have dies to give rounded edges here. Maybe you want scalloped edges. There's all kinds of ways to step up this card. But we wanted to keep this basic so we could show you how to create this floating pop-out card so you could master this design. Now our squares are 2 1/4 and 2. Now we need to go ahead and we're just going to stamp some cute little images right here. So let's put down a piece of paper and let me show you this cute stamp set that we're going to use. We are using the cutest cow, and it has so many pieces. It has chickens and cows and milk jugs and flowers. And then it also comes with a punch, and I'm going to show you the tip on using this punch right here. But first, let's go ahead and stamp our cute little images. So for the first one, I'm going to bring in the cute sunflowers, and let's get those stamped. I'm going to use early espresso for our sunflowers. We're just going to stamp them right on the side. Look at how cute that is. Now we're going to bring in our jug and we're going to stamp that right here. We're just creating a little scene that will be floating on the inside of our card. And next, we want to put one of those cute little chicks right here on top. Look at that. Now let's go ahead and stamp our next image over here before we start coloring. And we're going to stamp our cow, and he's going to be sitting down, just kind of hanging out. Now we want to bring in a little bit of grass right here. But first we're going to color our cow. So let's go ahead and get that colored. And now let's color our other little floating square. We're going to bring in our blends. Now let's go ahead and lay down our images. We're just going to lay them flat. You don't want to put dimensionals on these because they will be inside the card. And here are our inside squares that go on top of these mechanisms right here. So the next thing we need to do, we're going to stamp our cute little cow right here. Let's go ahead and bring in all our stamps. We have his body, his head. We have a couple sentiments that we'll be using. Now on his head right here, we are going to make it wobble. So that's another tip. We are going to bring in a wobble, and I'm going to show you how to use that because it's going on the front of the card. So the first thing we will do is we are going to stamp our sunflowers again using our early espresso. We will go ahead and put just a little bit of grass. Now I'm going to show you the tip to stamp your cow and punch it out. So let's grab our black memento. And I created a template. I went ahead and I punched out a square showing our cow, and this is how it punches out. You want to make sure that you stamp the way you'll be punching it out, just like this. So we are going to lay down this on a piece of paper, and we're just going to bring in our stamps and stamp right onto this template. So let's just tap, tap, tap. Bring in his body. Okay, and now we just need to color him. And now let's go ahead and stamp our message right up here. Okay, we're just going to set him right here, and then we are going to, after we color our little sunflowers, we're going to wobble his head. So let's get these colored. And here are our wobbles. We're just going to use our Take Your Pick tool and take the backing off. And put it right on his head. Okay, now we need to take the backing off here. And just add it to the front. Just like that. And look, how cute is that? Now we need to add this to the front of our mat that we've already cut. And we are ready to put together our mechanism. So let's bring in our card and let me show you how to do this. Now, on these mechanisms, you have one score line, and then you have one side with two score lines. The two score lines are going to be on the right, at the top right here. So we are going to lay this flat, and we're going to put some tape. Now, you can use a tape runner or you can use glue. I'm going to use a tape runner because I want it to grab right away. So let me just get some tape right there. Now remember, one score line, two score lines. You're going to put that right against the score line on the card, and you're going to fold over. And look at that. It picks it right up. The next thing you want to do is put your tape right here on this last square. Now you want to fold it over just like this and close it. And you have your box. Look at that. Now, we want to make sure that everything fits, right? So when you add this, you want to make sure it doesn't go above the card. So let's go ahead and add some glue right here because we want to be able to wiggle it if we need to. I'm just going to add some glue. Now, this covers the entire mechanism. So what we're going to do is just close it and make sure it doesn't go above the card. And look at that. Look at how cute that is. Okay, now on this one, you want to put your 2 score lines to the left and your 1 score line to the right. So let's go ahead and open that. We're going to put our tape right here on this square. Remember, this only has 1 score line on it. We're going to line it up about the same distance that we did here, and we're just going to close it. Now we're going to fold this over. We're going to add our glue right here, and we're just going to close it. And we've created our little mechanism that now we can add this cute little guy. Okay, let's go ahead and put our glue right here. Let's add this. Make sure that it does not come over the card. Just push it down. And there we have it. Look at this. How cute is that? Now, you can always come in and you can stamp something right here. Maybe you want some chickens. Maybe you want some more sentiments. Maybe you're using flowers. You don't have to use this stamp set. Think about all the possibilities. So we have this close. Now, all we need to do is add our little cow. Now, you want to make sure and only add dimensionals or tape on one side, which is about half. So I want to go ahead and set him up on dimensionals. Take the backing off. We're going to close this and just add it, trying to give the same border top to bottom and side to side. Now look at this cute little cow. You open him up and you have your floating pop-outs. Look at that. Perfectly lined up. They don't go over the card. Now let me show you some additional cards that we have. Now, I showed you this one before. Look at that. We stamped these images. We used beautiful DSP right here. We added this sentiment that came with this stamp set, and you open it up, and there you have it. Look at how pretty that is. So pretty. And finally, look at this one. We cut a bigger rectangle to cover really the entire card. We used that beautiful magnolia stamp set. Thank you for being you. We added some gems. And when you open it up, are you ready? Look at that. We took our squares and we turned them like a diamond and we stamped some sentiments right there. We added some more flowers. So elegant. So take a moment. Which is your favorite? Well, do you feel like you have mastered the floating pop-out card? We wanted to show you a very easy design that you could do right away. We hope you were inspired and that you take a moment to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. Maudie and I want to wish you a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.